A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to all of you all. This is Rekha Khan, your host for today's webinar. And I have with me today Dr. Vishal Saraswat, crypto expert and security consultant, joining us for the event today. Today, we're going to be talking about regulation, security, and user experience. On joining, you would have noticed that you all are in mute. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to put them on the chat section and we will address them after the webinar. From the creator of Odin, MCX and IEX, here is yet another credible and exchange neutral platform a user can rely on while walking towards the path of crypto and blockchain understanding. Starting from education to knowledge to all the latest news, all covered under 3.0 verse. From a novice to a professional trader, every market participant can have a slice of information readily available on the touch of their fingers. Let us understand what are the offerings of 3.0 verse. Let's start with the homepage of the app, which covers all the three pillars: 3.0 University, 3.0 TV, and 3.0 Wire. Under the 3.0 Wire services, we have rolled out India's first global index of cryptos, IC15. It tracks the performance of the top 15 cryptocurrencies globally based on market capitalization. Crypto enthusiasts and crypto traders can take informed decisions based on IC15. Coming to WireWatch, under this section, you can monitor the best exchange to buy and the best exchange to sell a particular cryptocurrency. In the center of the screen, we can monitor the arbitrage opportunity available between the two exchanges for the same cryptocurrency. Coming to 3.0 TV, it is an exclusive 24/7 mobile IP TV covering everything on crypto and blockchain ecosystem. It is currently available in 4 different languages: English, Hindi, Gujarati, and Marathi. Talking about the university, being the world's first digital university to offer courses on crypto and blockchain, you can find the best courses available on our platform. With this, I'm happy to introduce our guest speaker for today, Dr. Vishal Saraswat. He is a cryptology expert and security consultant at Bosch Engineering and Business Solution, Bangalore. He has done his PhD from University of Michigan, USA. Dr. Saraswat started his research career at the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai, in 2000. And since then, he has been a regular and visiting faculty at various institutions. He has co-authored the book, Introduction to Cryptography, that makes cryptography more accessible to Indian undergraduate students and researchers. Dr. Saraswat is the executive committee member of Cryptology Research Council of India and has served on editorial board of a number of security and cryptography journals and conferences. In addition to this, his teaching at the leading institutes in India and USA. Dr. Saraswat has organized and taught executive training program on information security and cybersecurity for various entities, including industry, intelligence agencies, defense organizations, academic institutions, and policymakers. He has supervised several master and doctoral students in cryptography and cryptanalysis in the last several years and contributes regularly to the popular media to raise awareness about crypto security among the non-specialists. Join me in welcoming Dr. Saraswat today for the webinar. Hi, sir. How are you?
Hi, Rekha. And let me share my screen also. Let's talk about crypto adoption. Okay. And so, yeah, when we are talking about crypto, of course, I must start with at least introducing the benefits of crypto, why we all love crypto, why everybody is attending here, right? Crypto is decentralized, so we don't have to worry about any central authority. We don't have to worry about our government going corrupt and maybe devaluing our currency all of a sudden, or etc. This is controlled by us, right? So when, especially when you look at the currency part, but it's generally pretty secure. You can verify your transactions immediately. Still not real time, but pretty quickly you can verify your transactions. You are pseudo-anonymous, so it's almost like dealing with cash. We have still not reached that stage, but still we have at least pseudo-anonymity, and you don't have to reveal your identity. You don't have to meet anybody physically, and you can still pay them. One of the things which is a benefit of crypto is like it's a limited supply. So again, the idea is that by design, it is so designed that you cannot have too much of the currency, and your currency won't devalue, right? Of course, only the right crypto is in that way. Some of the cryptos have completely devalued, but many times it was not because of the security, but some other issues, right? Not the technical security. Yeah, one thing that we have seen, and due to which this whole talk, right, about regulation, etc., is the high volatility. At least as of now, like when we talk of crypto, you cannot be sure that tomorrow your crypto will have any value, or can even go to 100 times the price, right? So this uncertainty is just not good for crypto. If you want to use this as well as the way we use our fiat currency, we need some sort of a stability. So yes, stable coins have been proposed, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But let's see. So just to most of you are here because you already know about crypto. Let's look at it, like how quickly it is growing. Even if you look at the 4-year gap, or even actually less than 4-year gap, it was in 2017, total market capital that crypto controlled was $18 billion. And since then, it has grown up to almost like 150 times. Right? So it's a huge growth. Very few commodities see such growth. So yeah, it's a huge growth, and it's only inflating. Despite some slowdowns, it's still inflating, right? It's a race. And in last few years, even now, this crypto is now being adopted, and we'll talk a little more about this topic. And investors are investing, institutions are investing, and governments are accepting this. So El Salvador is the first country to become they started accepting Bitcoin as a tender, but even other countries have kind of are on the fence, or even some of the new ones. I'm not sure, but some other countries are coming into picture who will start accepting this, right? And then institutions, not just the founders of this institution, but as institutions, they are investing, right? PayPal, Square, Tesla, and all that are investing into this. Okay, PayPal and Tesla, if you look at the founder, it's the same guy, but still, like, they are investing as different organizations. And when we think of crypto, yes, crypto as a trading commodity, as a currency, of course, it has value. But when the technology behind it, blockchain, so much innovation it has done since showing up, or even though the blockchain technology has been around since 30 or 40 years, but in 2009, Bitcoin adopted it, and then it was just, I think 2011. Oh, okay, I'll talk about the timeline in the next page. So, but still, yeah, there are so much new technologies coming in development of smart contracts, DeFi, NFTs, and so much other things, right? And I don't think you can turn on a TV channel which does not talk about crypto. On a daily basis, whether it be TV channel or newspaper, they have a column on crypto on a daily basis. And however, out of the way, like even like those entertainment magazines, etc., they are talking about crypto, right? So this is also just increasing the awareness, interest of common man or woman into the thing, or anybody, right? Uh, in crypto, some of the places where crypto is openly accepted and in a very open way. In fact, some of the nowadays games or even this virtual reality games or metaverse says that you might be traveling in. There you can't even do without crypto. So yeah. So a brief timeline for those who are unaware, like when we talk, this talk is anyway about adoption, right? How crypto uh, is being adopted. So, well, the blockchain technology, as I said, has been around since 30 or 40 years, but it was mainly known among the cryptographers, people who actually work with cryptography. They were using it for different things, but it was never a mainstream topic. But when in 2009, Satoshi Nakamoto, it's a pseudonym possibly. We don't know whether it's one person or a group. Every other day, there is somebody is claiming to be Satoshi Nakamoto, but we are not sure. So, yeah, so he put out this white paper and then the GitHub repository, and he proposed Bitcoin to the world. And then, okay, at least I, as a cryptographer, was interested in it. I was looking into it in 2009. And yes, it looked like it was working, but for many of us, it was just another digital currency. People had been trying to come up with so many different cryptocurrencies and digital currencies. It was just one more. And many, and I'll admit even myself, even though I was academically very interested in it, but I did not think it will become what it has become today. So, yeah, I did mining, I did everything, but I never cared about it, and I don't have anything left of it because it was just a toy for us, or at least many of us. So, anyway, you move on somewhere around 2011 and 12. Silk Road, they start accepting Bitcoin as a payment. So what is Silk Road? It's basically a black market, Amazon of black market stuff. You can order any illegal stuff, like whether it be drugs, guns, even you can hire goons and even, I don't know, it's all kind of illegal activities and service, like you could hire services and goods, whatnot. So this Silk Road, when they started accepting it, that's when Bitcoin actually started becoming popular outside the academic community very likely. So criminals started using it, and so the government started talking about, the FBI started talking about this. It was always in the news, media started covering Bitcoin. And then the common people, they got to know about Bitcoin and its potential. And just interest, people started looking into this. So yeah, that also started people's interest. Even other academicians, other people, they started looking into making a better alternative, etc. Those efforts, they all started after 2011, frankly. So in 2013, we had the Mount Gox hack, and that again, while in a way it kind of pulled a carpet under your under your feet, but while this hack in a way should have caused a doom of cryptocurrency, but somehow this actually even popularized cryptocurrency even more. People became wary. People realized that, okay, we need more security measures, we need regulation, but people became bolder, and sometime entertainment industry, they say, right, no publicity is negative publicity, right? Even negative publicity is good, free advertisement. And that happened here. So many new coins started coming, and when already in 2015 coins were coming, ICOs were becoming popular. And I think this ICOs, they reached the peak of around in somewhere in 2017. And then they flopped also. Now we see very few ICOs. Yeah. COVID again gave a little bit of a push forward to these things. But after 2017, ICO boom kind of slowed down. But yeah, this the meaning of ICO boom is not just in cryptocurrency, not just smart contracts, but so many other innovative topics that you could cover using this technology. And so many other projects came into picture, which were not just about cryptocurrency, but exploiting this technology of smart contracts, the blockchain itself. And that started coming into picture. And then we have somewhere in mostly it happened most post this COVID time, or during the COVID lockdowns, where institutional adoption started happening. I think people had more time at their hands. So one of the guys, like Elon Musk, he, of course, is a huge influencer, but many other influencers, many other tech moguls, they started investing in it. Their companies started investing in this crypto. And that meant when industry starts adopting it, there is certainly going to be much measures now. Earlier, only certain different kind of people were using it, or startups were into it. So it was a different ball game. But now all major tech, or many major tech players started coming into this, and a little bit of stability also started coming into the picture. Though the price volatility is still there, but still it said, okay, crypto is fair to stay at least for some more time. Okay? And there's more faith in that statement now. And even though the governments all around the world, they were keeping an eye on it, this also meant that now they had to start taking actions. Earlier, they were just looking at small-time players, and now they have big-time players. Facebook's Libra also kind of pushed the governments into saying that, okay, well, Facebook can come up with Libra, why can't we just come up with our own government coin or something, right? So that's where our central bank digital currencies are, where they are kind of backed by the government. So in a way, if you look at it, even here, the governments were like using this as a two birds with one stone kind of a scenario. But okay, if simple companies are making money, why can't we ourselves make money? Why give the control to these companies or group of organizations or Bitcoin consortium? Why let's take the control into our hands. Let's provide people a blockchain-based cryptocurrency while still be able to make money, right? And that way, government would have more control over it, right? So, that's how the crypto evolves. And even if you look at it now, it's not like crypto has become mainstream alternative to currency. Though there is a growing adoption, you have institutional investors, you have retail investors, you have businesses who are working on this topic. And in that sense, it's going towards mainstream, but it's still going towards, it hasn't gotten there, right? And despite investments of billions and billions of dollars, we already saw that our market is in trillions, all right? So in that sense, yes, there is an acceptance, the mainstream acceptance, with some, still we have more people on the fence rather on our side of the fence. Okay? And this is certainly a big major hurdle is, I believe, is the uncertainty in regulations. We don't know if I invest into crypto and all of a sudden tomorrow government comes up with a law and maybe I'm a criminal, right? So this regulatory uncertainty where and we'll talk about this, regulations all around the world, but the point is that this also is hindering the adoption and maybe justifiably, right? Well, like India, China, they have already kind of imposed quite a few restrictions on cryptocurrencies. In fact, China, it's even more dangerous, which actually has slowed down things. On the other hand, US wants to allow cryptocurrency trade, but they are having debates about the logistics of it, and we'll talk a little bit about that also. Of course, volatility, the price volatility, and complete uncertainty whether the cryptocurrency you are investing will be there tomorrow or not, right? So that is still there. And while people are using this volatility to make money and just while they can, but the risk is just too much also. And for example, I'm sure this question will come at the end, and I'll always say, well, you have to be adventurer to invest in this. All the fun, all the uncertainty, that's the thrill that it gives. You have to be really, adventurous. So, yes, while of course, we are mainly focusing on crypto as a currency or an asset or a commodity, this would be unfair to the other technological advances that have happened due to this popularity of crypto. So, blockchain, especially, evolving rapidly, opening up so many new use cases, and opportunities within. I work in the automotive industry, and even here, so many blockchain use cases, and it's fantastic. And of course, over here, I'm guessing most of the audience is interested in DeFi's and NFTs, and there also so much happening. It's mind-boggling, right? Of course, NFTs are no more a fad, but still there's so much innovation happening in that space. There's so many people trying to find so many new use cases with this. It's just, mind-boggling, right? But one of the huge concerns with crypto adoption is most of the crypto, and at least just the most popular cryptocurrency that we have, Bitcoin, that uses so much energy, and the amount of carbon footprint it leaves behind is right now the amount of energy used by just the Bitcoin industry would have powered us a pretty decent sized state in our country, or even a small country. Our states are as big as many other countries, bigger than many other countries. Right? So that is certainly a concern, right? When you use up so much of coal, so much of electricity. Okay, you are not directly using the coal when you are mining crypto, but you are using electricity, which is using the coal and so on, right? So, and so, of course, there is a lot of effort. There are a lot of coins which are environmentally friendly. They are some of them use very minimal amount of resources, etc. But they'll take time to become more popular, or at least become mainstream. So yeah, that's about adoption. And there are challenges, right? Volatility has to be taken care of. The regulatory clarity needs to come in. And then, of course, security concerns and scams. Many times you invest in crypto and then only to realize that the coin that you're invested in, the currency that you're invested in, that whole thing is a scam or a farce. And the owner of that company, they just stole your money and they just vanish. And so all those things are there. And we have to be, sometimes when you are using crypto, it almost feels like that you are doing some crime or something, right? So yeah, so one of the biggest hurdles in crypto adoption is the crypto regulation. So, and when we say crypto regulation, what do we mean, right? Basically, the laws that the government needs to introduce, the rules, or the not even always government, but sometimes industry bodies, they need to have proper policies in place for the use of cryptocurrency, for the trading of crypto, for cryptocurrency. When I use the word cryptocurrency now, it's like just don't worry about it. It could be any crypto asset. All those things are important now, right? So, all over the world, we have many different kinds of regulations aiming for many different issues. So there are different already existing or at least proposed regulations or directives or laws, what do they call them? So some of them may require licensing and registering of the exchanges where you cryptocurrency exchanges or the wallet provider, like if you are using a smart wallet or any other crypto service provider, that these exchanges should be at least run in the regulatory compliance system. And then this laws or these regulations could cover at least some sort of a consumer protection measures or even awareness measures. So like this crypto exchanges, they may be required to send some risk warnings, send some awareness campaigns, or at least they must have some sort of a disclosure requirements so that if they are not, the exchange itself is not stealing from the customer. And then they cover this anti-money laundering measures. Some of them cover the KYC or require the KYC to be completed by your exchanges so that they can possibly keep a track on at least the government should be able to break your army and track you and figure out if you did something wrong. That's the idea. And yeah. And then even tax policies, like how do you handle tax on crypto? Like when I bring in dollars from US on my trips back, I'm not allowed to bring as many dollars as I want. Similarly, I'm not allowed to take out as many rupees as I want, right? So that has implications. So how to treat this currency, how to get tax out of it, how that is going to be pictured. Many of the regulations they cover, like ICOs and any other fundraising mechanisms, so that these ICOs don't scam you, etc. And then, of course, many people just do insider trading, many just do all kinds of fraud, market manipulation, other illegal activities with cryptocurrency, or in general, any crypto. So NFTs have become the best, that favored means of money laundering now, right? So how to control that, how to take care of that. And crypto regulations are trying to address these issues. So what is the goal of crypto regulation? Well, the first goal, at least that's claimed in goal by the governments, and many times actually even the institutions are looking for such assurances. So the first thing is protection. So protection of the investors, people who invest money in this crypto, whether it be NFTs, whether it be coins, etc., from frauds and scams. And then preventing illegal activities. So we can have this anti-money laundering measures so that crypto cannot be used to launder money. So we spoke about it. NFTs are used to launder money regularly. You just create a basic token or NFT, and then you sell it for billions or whatever, just so that somebody can send you some money. And then they use this digital token, this NFT, and they just sell it around, and basically they just so that they can transfer money to wherever they want. So yeah, means generally the idea is that this also this anonymity, where people under the garb of anonymity, they are using crypto to do illegal stuff. So have at least a know your customer requirement, that is by institutional coins or currencies, so that if needed, at least they can illegal actors, criminals can be identified. Then we, of course, want to ensure the market stability. We want that the volatility that we have, the customer, consumer, they invest their life savings into a coin, and then next day the coin's value is zero or almost close to zero. Then that is pretty dangerous. Of course, one may say that, people are investing knowing what they are doing, but then we have laws against driving a two-wheeler without a helmet, right? We have laws against driving a car without a seatbelt. In a way, the person who's not wearing the seatbelt, he's going to harm himself. So we have to protect them also, right? So that's what government does. They spend so much energy in protecting you from yourself. And of course, then comes the innovation. If we have enough regulation, then we may see more interest from the entrepreneurs, we may see more interest from the startups, and then they are the ones generally who will take crypto to the next step. They are the ones who come up with so much innovation, so much of new technologies. So we have to provide them a convincing argument that the government is behind. Okay. So let's look at some of the regulations that are happening all around the world. So, of course, generally the world follows US, so we have to look at US. So, the Senate, they passed a $1 trillion infrastructure bill, basically with provisions to regulate crypto, its taxation, the reporting. So anybody transacting with crypto, they should be reported to the government and so on. So that is pretty broad, and that was like breach of privacy, lots of protests against it. And but anyway, that's there. So if you are dealing with crypto, forget about any privacy. And also, what they did was this bill that actually expands the definition of the term broker. So earlier, broker is generally what? Just a middleman who's trying to, who helps you with conducting a transaction. But here, this bill, what it did was it expanded the definition. And here, broker could be anybody who provides any sort of a digital asset transfer service. This crypto is a digital asset. But now, even a software developer who participated in development of a coin, they could also be considered a broker. And now the poor developer, they may also have to comply with all the regulations regarding a broker. And otherwise, they would be doing crimes which they themselves may not have some idea that they are committing some crime. So that was the Senate, but then Security and Exchange Commission, they came up with a crackdown, and what they did was they started cracking down on ICOs mainly. And any ICO, they would look at it and they will treat it as an unregistered securities offering. So, and there again, their definitions are so broad. They are like almost any coin could be unregistered securities offering. So, yeah, so that started coming into the picture, and then the CFTC, the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, they started regulating the cryptocurrencies, and now, yes. Did somebody say something? No, sorry. Yeah. So, Evans, they started trading cryptocurrency derivatives as commodities, and they were cracking down on those. Then various states, they started coming out of, because US is a federal state, even states can have their own laws regarding many topics. Texas, they passed a law where they recognize cryptocurrencies as a legitimate form of payment. So that led the way past to many other states also going in that direction. So yeah, for crypto. But at the same time, for example, New York, they introduced a law that proposed a law which should require any crypto mining operation to undergo an environment impact review. So if you are mining Bitcoin, you are in trouble, man. And yes, we spoke about stable coins. They came up with an idea that, okay, this coin will have a backing of the fiat currency. And so whoever is introducing stable coin, they would generally say that, okay, we are introducing this, we have the amount of money that is backing this, so that the price will never go below a certain amount, right? They still never guarantee that it will not fluctuate, but it will be relatively stable. That's the idea. But there were so many fine terms and conditions with every stable coin that was coming out that government had to take an action. That it almost started feeling like that some fishy stuff is happening in the fine language, fine font. So that's where our Financial Stability Oversight Council comes in the picture, and they basically, they are a lobbying group, so they can't create a law, but they at least issued a report calling for greater oversight of stable coins. Then one of the official capacities gets into a picture where the office of the comptroller of the currency, they come in the picture, and they introduce new rules or proposed new rules for banks holding stablecoin reserves. That if you're holding some coin as a reserve, you should satisfy certain criteria. And then we have regulations in Europe, which are like even varied. So MiCA or MiCA, depending on how you pronounce this. Right? So MiCA regulation that treats any crypto asset, not just the currencies. And once it comes into effect, it would require issuers of crypto assets to provide certain disclosures to the investors. So that if I'm investing on your coin, you must provide me some disclosures regarding this coin. And also that if you're a service provider, you must have certain capital, so you should not be able to go bankrupt tomorrow and leaving the customers in lurch. Right? And then we had this another AML directive, or the fifth AML directive. So this requires cryptocurrency exchanges or even the wallet providers to conduct customer due diligence and report suspicious transaction to authority. So now you will again kind of lose your anonymity. So because this providers will need to do the KYC, we need to, when we say due diligence, means make sure that the person who claims to be, let's say Amitabh Bachchan, is really Amitabh Bachchan or not somebody else. Right? In fact, there is a full EU-wide crypto assets regime coming proposed, and this will be a common set of rules for all kinds of crypto asset activities throughout the EU. So all the crypto assets issuers, they should provide a white paper to the investors regarding their assets. And again, this one will also have some sort of requirements that who can be a crypto assets exchange, or who can be a custodian wallet provider. And if you are, what should be your responsibilities, what should the rules, etc., and so on. And in fact, there is also a law which is proposed in the EU, is like about this is going to strip you of your anonymity. So if you are using crypto, it has to be non-anonymous. Okay? So people should be able to figure out who is participating in the transaction, or at least the government should be able to figure out. So yeah. The goal was like they want to just protect users from or not really protect users, but basically they want to kind of not their coin being abused, this coin's abused for money laundering and other criminal activities. So coming to the end, let me quickly go over some of the regulations that we have in Asia. Of course, China, the biggest country in our continent, they have already announced a crackdown on cryptocurrency mining and trading. Basically, they are citing the concerns about financial risk because it's still like gambling if you are investing into crypto, right? And of course, the energy consumption. Though in China, energy is cheap and people were using it, and sometimes they're stealing it. Now the government wants people to pay for it. And this kind of crackdown / not really a full ban, but this crackdown that has certainly impacted the whole cryptocurrency market, not just in China, but globally. Japan, on the other hand, had been kind of pro-crypto from like very early on. In fact, as early as the 2017, they had already had implemented a licensing system for all kinds of cryptocurrency exchanges. But also looking at the volatility and abuse of this crypto, the same agency, they also introduced regulations which would tighten the oversight of exchanges, prevent money laundering, and terrorism financing. So terrorists are also in this now. In South Korea, their National Assembly, they passed new law requiring all the cryptocurrency exchanges must be registered and comply with all kinds of AML regulations. Then in Singapore, we have the Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS or MAS. They have a licensing framework for cryptocurrency exchanges and payment providers. This one also had a lot of protests, but at least they said, okay, we have some sort of a licensing system. Many people hear the word license and they feel like, okay, there's a license charge or something, right? So while MAS implemented this framework, they also keep issuing regular warnings to the customers that be aware of this. And then, of course, we have to talk about India. So Indian government, they have not really banned the private cryptocurrencies, but it's still in talk. They have a proposal. They are now they are not treating crypto as a legal form of payment. So, but they are also advising banks and organizations not to deal with crypto. They have introduced the central bank digital currency, and sometimes also called a centrally backed digital currency. So they are saying like, okay, you want to use crypto, just use this, right? Our own. So I won't go over time. I'll just stop at this slide. So even though, like, of course, we want regulation so that we can do our crypto activities with peace of mind, but it's not easy for even for a government to introduce the regulations. There is so much to clarify, so they are just don't know what is crypto doing, what is happening, and a lot of clarity still is needed for introducing proper crypto regulation. I would recommend that governments all over the world, they start going via what we call in industry the agile approach. Introduce minimum viable regulation and then look at the reaction and then react to it, right? So that way, making the regulation better by day, and of course, have some good people in your team so that you're not introducing regulation without knowing what you're doing. Right? Of course, the volatility does not help, and there are no technical ways of controlling this volatility, and that makes governments nervous that if they regularize crypto and the volatility still stays, then the government may be able to actually, by mistake, they may harm their own citizens, right? The anonymity, all the governments in the world, they want to know exactly what you are doing with your money and, in fact, what you are doing all the time anyway. So the governments don't want you to be anonymous. And that is a big problem. Like the governments, they are trying to come up with ways that, okay, while allowing you kind of anonymity, but how can we rip off that anonymity whenever we want? And that has become a tricky question. And that is being dealt with. And then we have the global nature of crypto, right? Who does the crypto belong to, whether it's Japanese, whether it's Indian, whether it's whichever, right? So that has to be, yes, I'm done. So yeah, also the institutions, they have not adopted crypto so much. So that is still a problem that we need to look at it more. Institutions need to start adopting crypto. Yeah. So that's about crypto adoption and regulation. I'll stop my session now. And if there are questions, I don't see any in this chat, but if there are questions.
I think we have got one question that's coming to us. Just give me a second. So the most common question that we always get, is crypto considered a secured thing in India? With a lot of regulations and all that, what is, the status of the security in India for crypto? I think it's nothing specific. It cannot be specific to a country because
Yeah, yes, and right now, as I said, like there is no proper law even in India to criminalize the crypto or anything. So you can trade in crypto, so that is not a problem. But the thing is, in general, crypto is just volatile, and other than our own now government has already introduced our the centrally backed digital currency. If you consider it crypto, then that one possibly you might have some faith in, but other than that, no, you are just out in the world. There is no proper regulations yet in India or anywhere. Actually, no country is. They have regulations, some regulation, but nobody is guaranteeing you that this crypto is secure. So whether it be any other things, they are not guaranteeing the security of your crypto.
Right. So you need to do your research. You need to read a lot before you do any investment in this industry. So I don't think apart from that, there is anything else that you can do. So there definitely needs to be a lot of research for before you do any kind of investment in this industry. So with that, I think that was the only question that we had. So I think with that, we'll come to an end to this session. Thank you so much, Vishal, for taking out time and
thank you.
Valuable advice and giving us more in-depth details in terms of the security and the regulations on cryptocurrency. Thank you so much. Thank you all the audience for being a part of this session.